afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is Newsfeed at noon on BNC, the Bilyonaryo news channel where we give you a rundown of today's biggest stories. We begin in Antipolo City where rescuers are stepping up the search for at least 3 people swept by raging flood waters. Local authorities say floods washed away a home with a family of 6 in Barangay San Luis. Only 2 of them were accounted for. The other was found dead. Rescue operations also continue in Barangay San Jose, where a landslide left at least 4 dead. 3 others drowned, bringing to 7 the reported deaths in Antipolo City due to tropical storm Ting. Our reporter Bea de la Cruz is on the scene in Antipolo City to give us the latest on the rescue operations due to the massive flooding there. Bea, go ahead.
My search and rescue operations continue for 3 people who are still missing in Sitio Banaba, Antipolo City, a day after Typhoon Ting and Habagat caused massive flooding. 1 person died in that area. 3 people were also killed in a landslide in Sitio Hinapao. The City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office reported they were able to retrieve the bodies from a landslide in Sitio Hinapao. Some 10,700 families or over 50,000 people were forced to evacuate in Antipolo City. They are now housed in 42 evacuation centers. My Sitio Hinapao, where the landslide took place, was earlier declared a danger zone but has since then been declared as already cleared. Residents who are living near the slide no longer evacuated their homes. Rescue operations or relief operations continue for those affected by the flood. Back to you.
Bea, after talking to officials there, what are the things that they most need now for the evacuees?
The officials have said that now they are currently clearing all of the trees that are there in uphill in Sitio Banaba for them to be able to find the other missing bodies in Sitio Banaba.
Also, Bea, what did the LGU say? What did disaster officials say as to the cause of the flooding there, the sudden gush of water into Antipolo and the lower areas?
The LGUs had said that the cause of the water is because there was an overflow from the typhoon Ting and Habagat, which caused all of the cities, all of the barangays here to overflow.
All right, thank you for that report, Bea de la Cruz, reporting to us live from Antipolo. Another vessel runs aground off Navotas. The Philippine Coast Guard says the barge was moored at a wharf in Barangay Tanza when its forward ropes broke. After being towed, the barge dropped anchor, only to be dragged again by strong winds and huge waves. The Coast Guard is on site for an investigation. At least 4 other vessels encountered trouble at sea at the height of tropical storm Ting. Francis Falve gives us the details.
Thick white smoke can be seen billowing from a vessel at the Navotas anchorage area. According to Coast Guard, fire broke out on board LCT GT Express after an collision with MV Camilla. All 18 crew on board were rescued. The Coast Guard also reported that they towed Barge Tamban to the Navotas Fishport Complex after it drifted off the sea. In Barangay Bagong Bayan North, another barge, the ASC Regine and MTKR Patriot III, ran aground and accidentally hit and damaged a seawall. The sister vessel of barge ASC Regine, M. Taglayofe, is on standby for extraction as soon as the weather permits. Meanwhile, MTKR Patriot Trees Company already coordinated with an MTAG that will extract the distressed vessel. In Rosario, Cavite, a barge drifted and ran aground in Barangay Wawa 2 due to strong current because of tropical storm Ting. Residents recall how the barge hit a fuel pipeline early Monday morning. The pipeline luckily was not in use. No leak was reported.
Talagang matatakot ka dahil sa lakas eh. Kala mo may sumasabog dun sa bawat bangga ng alon eh. Talaga naman.
According to the report from the office of the Rosario Cavite LGU, after the incident, 2 tugboats tried to pull the vessel but failed because it was already low tide. The residents see this as a threat to their lives and livelihood.
Ang kinatatakutan namin sa sobrang laki ng tubig mamaya, baka tumama yan dyan. Masira mga bahay at maapektuhan yung mga tao dyan. Hindi lang mga bahay, pati mga bangka.
As a temporary measure, they fill the barge with water while PCG and the local PNP investigates. To ease fear among residents of Barangay Wawa 2, the Coast Guard said the vessel will be towed out to sea as soon as the tide rises. Francis Polbe, BNC.
Parts of the capital city, Manila, are still dealing with floods. Our reporter Agatha Gregorio is on the scene in Tondo, where 13 houses were washed away and over 200 people evacuated. Agatha.
Like yesterday, we're still seeing rains every now and then here in Baseco in Manila. Because of Tropical Storm Enteng, along with the high tide, 213 individuals or 58 families were affected here in Baseco. That's according to the 9:30 p.m. update on Monday of the Manila Department of Social Welfare. Additionally, 13 houses were washed away, all of which were in Block 17. Due to these effects, some Baseco residents are thinking about moving. According to Barangay Baseco Chairperson Diana Espinosa, all houses destroyed by Enteng were illegally constructed. Espinosa adds they do not permit construction in that area due to safety reasons. An orange rainfall warning was placed over Metro Manila at 5 a.m., indicating strong rains and possible flooding and landslides. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Agatha Gregorio, reporting there. Las Piñas begins cleaning up after Monday's floods caused by Enteng. On the scene in Las Piñas is Francis Falve. Francis, go ahead.
By this morning, the rains have let up, floods subsided, and the cleaning has begun here in Las Piñas City. MMDA Flood Control, DPWH, DENR, and Las Piñas LGU started shoveling mud off the streets early today. Yesterday, this portion of the Alabang-Zapote Road was flooded with waist-deep water. One problem each time it floods is the mud that collects on the streets. Cleanup crew have to dig the mud out of the waterways and on the roads. They then put the mud inside sacks and onto trucks for proper disposal. Water trucks from the Las Piñas LGU also flushed the slippery dirt. On Monday night, many motorcycle riders and pedestrians slid on pavements, and thankfully, no one got badly hurt. This area is a busy intersection for those going to Alabang, Parañaque, Cavite, and Pasay. Skies are clearing up now, but Pag-asa DOST says we can still expect occasional or scattered rains in Metro Manila later. Mai?
Thanks, Francis Falve, reporting live from Las Piñas. Coming up, House lawmakers are zeroing in on several issues hounding the Education Department under Vice President Sara Duterte. We'll have the details when Newsfeed returns. We're back. This is Newsfeed on BNC. Let's get the latest on Tropical Storm Enteng. Pag-asa weather specialist Alzar Aurelio is on the line. Good afternoon, Alzar. So where is the storm now and what areas should still expect rainy weather?
Hello and good afternoon to all of you. As of now, the center of tropical storm Enteng was at 100 kilometers west-northwest of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. It means the eye or the center of tropical cyclone was at the northern Luzon. The Enteng has a maximum sustained winds of 85 kilometers per hour, while gustiness of up to 105 kilometers per hour. Stormy weather because of Enteng and southwest monsoon will experience over the most part of Luzon, or over the whole Luzon and some part of western Visayas. As of this moment, tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 raised over western portion of Ilocos Norte and northern portion of Ilocos Sur. And signal number 1 over the rest of Ilocos Norte, rest of Ilocos Sur, northern portion of La Union, Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, western portion of Mountain Province, northern portion of Benguet, and western section of Cagayan, including Fuga and Dalupiri Islands. Yes.
Alzar, I'd like to focus again on the forecast track for Storm Enteng. I'd like to show that again to our viewers kasi nakikita natin kanina more on a westward track na itong si Storm Enteng. Ano? After niya pumunta doon sa tip of Cagayan, ano ang mga areas that should expect more rain?
Today and over the next 24 hours, more rainy days today and tomorrow will be experienced over the most part of northern and central Luzon and some part of southern Luzon, including Metro Manila.
So Metro Manila uulanin pa rin bukas?
Opo, bukas maulan pa rin, but we can see or we foresee lessen intensity of rains tomorrow than today.
Ano naman ang forecast, Alzar, sa Visayas at Mindanao? Good weather ba for the next 2 to 3 days?
Starting tomorrow, and Visayas and Mindanao, yes, we can see, we would say that general fair weather, but I expect isolated rain showers to thunderstorm.
Alzar, may paparating pa bang bagyo na minomonitor ang pag-asa?
For the next 2 to 3 days, wala pa po. Bukas kasi inaasahan po natin na pag-exit ng part itong si Enteng, pero may maulan pa rin dahil sa bagat. So, another tropical cyclone, as of this now, none for the next 2 to 3 days.
Okay, maraming salamat, Alzar Aurelio, Pag-asa Weather Specialist. Classes in most of the zone have been canceled for a second straight day due to the storm's impacts. Malacanang also suspended government work today in Metro Manila and Calabarzon. Here are other areas with no classes today, September 3rd. Storm signal number 2 still up in the western portion of Ilocos Norte. Abante Radyo's Randy Menor is on the scene. He joins us for an update. Randy, kamusta ang Ilocos Norte?
Nakaranas ngayon ng pabugbog pag-ulan at maulap na panahon ang lalawigan ng Ilocos Norte na dulot ng bagyong Enteng. Bagamat nakataas sa signal number 2 ang kanlurang bahagi ng lalawigan, wala pa naman napapaulat na nabahang lugar o kaya nag-evacuate. Pero hindi na pumalaot pa ang mga mangingisda, kundi inilagay nila ang kanilang mga bangka sa mas mataas na lugar. Nasuspindi rin ang pasok sa trabaho ng gobyerno at lahat ng pasok sa mga paaralan at pampubliko at pribadong paaralan ngayong araw. Nakansela rin sa araw na ito ang flights ng Philippine Airlines at Cebu Pacific na Manila Lawag, Manila dahil sa masamang panahon. Pero itinuturing ng mga magsasaka na biyaya ang dulot ng bagyo sa kanila dahil sa ulan para sa kanilang mga tanim na palay. Mahigpit pa rin ang pagbabantay ng Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office para sa anumang pinsala o perwisyo na dulot ng bagyo. Para sa BNC, Randy Menor, DWAR, Abante Radio.
Maraming salamat, Randy Menor of Abante Radio. In other developments, a lawmaker slams the Education Department's spending under Vice President Sara Duterte. During the Vice President's stint, Marikina Representative Stella Quimbo says the DepEd spent its secret funds fast but was slow in utilizing its regular budget. This, Kimbo warns, jeopardizes the future of Filipino learners. She says the department's confidential funds for 2023, worth more than 112 million pesos, were spent in just 190 days. Kimbo also cites a COA report that showed the DepEd failed to utilize over 37 billion pesos of its 735 billion peso budget in 2023. Aside from its budget use, the DepEd under Vice President Duterte also faced delays in its 2023 computerization program. The issue over Duterte's books also far from over. Hanati reports.
Wala pong role ang Department of Education sa development, reproduction or printing of Isang Kaibigan storybook.
The Department of Education clarifies it was not involved in the production and distribution of Isang Kaibigan, the children's book written by former Education Secretary and Vice President Sara Duterte. The book, launched at DepEd's Araw ng Pagbasa in 2023, drew attention during a Senate budget briefing when Vice President Duterte requested 10 million pesos for its publication and distribution. At the House deliberations on the Education Department's budget, Secretary Sonia Angara revealed the book's illustrators are DepEd employees.
The two are employees of the Public Affairs Service Division of the department, Your Honor.
They are employees.
Yes, but there is no payment made to them for whatever they did. So it's either they made it gratis or for free, or they were paid on the side. We don't really know.
Angara added that there are no official records of payments to them. DepEd Undersecretary Gina Gonong explains that Araw ng Pagbasa is an annual DepEd event where reading ambassadors, including officials, can choose any storybook to read to learners. At the event in Quezon City, the VP chose her own storybook. Photos circulated online showing children holding copies of the book. But Gonong says DepEd did not distribute them.
There was a preparation regarding the event, Your Honor, but the distribution of textbooks wasn't done by the Department of Education. The printing, the distribution wasn't done by DepEd.
Concerns that public funds may have been used were also raised.
Just to clarify po, so no public funds were used in the production of the book. It was not come under any line item, and therefore it did not also go through any of the quality assurance and accreditation required under the DepEd. None of that po.
Lawmakers say the new Education Secretary has a lot of tidying up to do.
Medyo iniwanan siya ng maraming problema ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
The Commission on Audit reported that the agency's computerization program in 2023 was delayed, with computers not delivered to some regions. State auditors also noted low budget utilization rate of 50.07% and no accomplishments in 2023, possibly indicating operational failures.
Na-brief ako, nagulat ako na 4 years old na pala yung mga gamit doon.
Angara adds that over 1.5 million items, including laptops and books, remain in storage. The Secretary assures the body that efforts are underway to remove the items from storage before they deteriorate. The DepEd has a proposed 2025 budget of 79.18 billion pesos, with 29.31 billion allocated for classroom construction, repairs, and school health facilities. Hanati, BNC.
House lawmakers go a step further in scrutinizing the DepEd's laptop deal. Hanati is on the scene to tell us more. Hana.
Aside from books, DepEd's computerization program for 2022 and 2023 took center stage in yesterday's budget deliberations after Secretary Sonia Angara revealed the non-use of 4-year-old computers and books. Lawmakers demanded the release of all bidding documents of the program. These came after allegations of a possible conspiracy in the procurement process surfaced. Only 2 out of 16 contract lots passed the initial bidding, leading to a rebid that raised further questions. Lawmakers argued that these discrepancies could have led to significant 1.6 billion pesos worth of losses. DepEd also reportedly spent only over 2.18 billion of its 11.36 billion budget in 2023 for gadgets and other e-learning equipment. The school-based feeding program was also heavily criticized. State auditors revealed delays and non-delivery of essential food items like Nutribuns and milk in several regions in the country. Some of these were moldy, pest-infested, or expired, which sparked concerns about the safety and health of students. My over 21 schools division offices reported such issues, and there were calls for better oversight and stricter quality control measures for the perishable goods. Back to you.
Thank you, Hanati, reporting. The Philippines has ordered vaccines to help stop the spread of Mpox. That's after the Health Department confirmed 3 more cases. Pierre Pastor reports.
The Department of Health identified Mpox cases number 15, 16, and 17, giving us a total of 8 active cases as of today.
Yes, meron tayong mga bagong kaso, 3 ating dinagdag, no? Si cases 15, 16, and 17, which brings our active cases to 8. Si case 15 ay 29-year-old, taga Metro Manila. Si case 16 ay 34-year-old, taga Metro Manila. Pareho silang lalaki. Si case 17 is 29-year-old na lalaki, taga Calabarzon.
Result of contact tracing conducted by the DOH reveals that cases 15, 16, and 17 might have contracted the disease through intimate contact with an infected person.
They will follow a hypothesis. So tinitingnan nila. Si cases 15 and 16, it's established na meron silang sexual contact with multiple sexual partners. I forgot the counts, pero it's more than 1. So for both separate, hindi sila related by the way, 10, 11, all of them, the 8 active cases, they're not related to each other. Si 17, sexual contact, pero 1 person na merong symptoms. Inamin ng ating case na he does recall na merong symptoms yung naka-sexual contact niya.
The patients volunteered to have themselves checked after seeing lesions in some parts of their bodies.
Si 15 is by telemedicine, so quickly remembering in details, no? Nag-ano siya, self-consult. So tumawag siya sa hotline. I'm not sure if it's one of the private foundations na tinawagan niya. And then after that, tumawag rin siya sa isang DOH hotline. Si case 16 went to a government hospital.
ASEC Domingo says it is easy to identify lesions from Mpox infections. Lesions found in the anal and genital areas are usually painful. Other symptoms that comes with the lesions are fever and the inflammation of the cervical lymph nodes. No vaccines is available yet in the country, although the Health Department has already requested for 2,000 shots.
Modified vaccinia Ankara. It is not yet available in the Philippines. In fact, internationally, stocks are limited. At ang WHO fino-focus yung ating vaccination drive towards the Democratic Republic of the Congo or DRC, where the transmission of clade 1B is highest. Meron tayong sabihin na nating request to be prioritized for aiming for around 2,000 doses. It's a small quantity. Why? Because this is not a general vaccination. Unlike COVID-19 na nasa hangin kasi na lahat tayo kailangan mabakunahan. Ito we can identify. We have an idea on what key populations are most at risk, and yun yung inuuna natin in addition to yung mga doktor na tinatawag nating frontliners, mga dermatologists, yung mga kumukuha ng sample, kasi yun yung priorities natin. Pag binigyan mo ng bakuna yung pasyenteng may Mpox, especially in the first 1 to 2 days, imbes na 2 to 4 weeks yung takbo ng mga blisters, it shortens, which means the transmissibility goes down.
Domingo explained that the available chickenpox vaccine will not be helpful for Mpox, although the smallpox vaccine from the 70s might protect the elder people from Mpox infection.
Ang smallpox vaccine ba mag-work para sa Mpox? Yes, it does. In fact, which is why yung mga matatanda, yung mga matatanda sa atin, 1970s and below, there was a smallpox eradication campaign before, spearheaded by WHO internationally. Kasama tayo doon, or ang ating older generations, binabakunahan sila for smallpox. Smallpox belongs to the same family as Mpox. So there is a certain degree of protection for those who already got smallpox vaccine.
But experts remind that practicing proper hygiene is crucial in preventing the spread of Mpox. Pierre Pastor, BNC.
China vows to protest what it calls its territorial sovereignty in the South China Sea. Beijing's statement comes after the latest incident in Escoda Shoal, where China and the Philippines accused each other of deliberately causing collisions between their Coast Guard vessels. The incident over the weekend was already the 5th in August alone, according to the PCG.
首先鲜滨礁是中国南沙群岛的一部分。当前事态或者说当前局势升温的根源在于菲律宾派海警船在鲜滨礁的西湖长时间滞留，并企图永久侵占。所以中方在鲜滨礁采取的行动是维权行动，是为了维护中国的领土主权和海洋权益，是正当合法的。
Meanwhile, dozens of Chinese ships continue to surround the BRP Teresa Magbanua in Escoda Shoal. The Philippine Coast Guard says these include more than 30 Chinese maritime militia ships, at least 2 CCG vessels, and Navy tugboats and a Chinese hospital ship. On BNC's At the Forefront, PCG spokesman for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, insisted China is to blame for the continuing tensions in the disputed waters.
The Chinese government is the one who is carrying out escalatory actions and provocative behavior in the West Philippine Sea. The mere fact that they can deploy as many maritime forces as they like just to respond with the presence of one sole Philippine Coast Guard vessel, it's obviously it is them who is aggressive.
Tariela also said they plan to deploy another vessel in Escoda Shoal to evaluate the seaworthiness of BRP Teresa Magbanua. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Stay tuned to BNC for more top-of-the-hour news on Free TV Channel 31 and also on our website, bnc.ph. Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.